There are 5 important things you need to consider when you paint landscape or seascape. In this video, I'm going to show you how I painted these and what 5 things I considered in my brain when I did that. The first thing is the composition. The composition is a very important thing regardless it's a seascape or landscape. Here in this video, I can show you this scene has been taken from this actual scene. But as you can see, I haven't painted that exactly how it is in the actual scene. I just composed the scene with how it looked like it with both people and thing. Like this is a sketch. I will start with the sky as I always do, but one thing I will not do, I will not wash it up with the first wash at one go. I'll do step by step. So I'm just using French ultramarine just to do a sky, and I will be just using a bit of cloud there. So I'm just creating a negative space for clouds, creating a shape of the cloud. And second important thing that makes your painting dynamic and very interesting, that is edges, soft edge or hard edge. As you can see, I'm just rubbing off some of the edges of the cloud with the fresh water and then pulling the paint down towards the horizon slowly. That's my first wash only for the sky in here. So previously I have shown you there are many ways to do that. One of them is whole thing, do the first wash straight away in the first step, then let it dry and then do the second wash. But here I'm doing the first wash, sometimes I'm making them dry and then doing the second wash on top of that and finishing it off. Whatever works for you, just do it that way. So making the down at the bottom, I'm making the cloud a bit of, I'm putting some higher darker value in there so that just it creates some volume. And down the horizon, I'm just doing a negative shape for this boat, and I'm trying to be really careful, and then I'm just using exactly the same French ultramarine to do the sea part. I will then, with the side of the brush, I will use green to paint the foliage. I have used a bit of sap green with a mix of cobalt blue, making it a little bit cooler. And not all the greens are exactly the same color, so this is what you need to remember. You have to use combination of different greens. So I've used some raw sienna with my existing green, made it a bit of different in there. Now the most important thing is the values. Having the right values making your painting working, otherwise it will be looking flat. Even though I haven't touched my second portion yet, but I feel like having those values in the foliages will make some volumes in there. So this is what I did. I painted the first wash, and then instead of having that one in the whole painting, I choose a portion of that and straight away adding some second wash. So here I am doing now, adding some values in there to make it more darker, and finding out where the darks are and making some of the places for highlights. As you can see, I have used some different brushes and making like texture, different brushes for the different texture. Now when that's dried up, I'm using really light raw sienna, a mix of bit of yellow ochre to do the sand. It's a daytime and probably the midday or something like that. So I'm going to use some brighter sand color in there. I'm just cutting through the boat in there, and just having the sand pull it down to the right at the foreground. Just making it very light. So after the beach, I'm going to now paint the sea. So in the horizon, I'm just making some cobalt blue colors in there, just being a little bit of cautious in there, just cutting through some boats and stuff. And then I will add some turquoise green with that cobalt blue, mixing up with that. and just pull down this water and mixing up with the sand colors in there. Use some more water in there. Now add some turquoise green. Leaving some whites for the waves or kind of foams and this stuff, sea stuff. Leaving some spaces in there, and in the foreground I'm just adding some ultramarine. So as you can see, for the blue I am mixing up different kinds of blue in there. This is important so that your painting doesn't look boring. And you can see how I made these brushes, just holding with my fingers and nails, making it some random strokes for some seaweeds and the stuffs on the beach. Just a random. I think my horizon has become a little bit more pale, so what I'm going to do, I will just add some values in the horizon line in there, so that the sea and the horizon get distinguished a little bit, and just cutting through the figures. Okay, I forgot to press record button to do the boat. Anyways, I'm very sorry for that one. So when the boat is done, I'm just doing the roof of the boat with some bright yellow colors in there. Just adding some values when this initial wash is dried up. So making it more darker where the boat meets the shadow. This is very important. The more values you put in the shadows, the more brighter the lighter part of the boat will look like. So it will create more contrast in there, and which will draw your attention, the viewer's eyes, straight into there and give the impression of having bright light and midday, sunny midday. That's the reason I put the roof of the boat is very bright yellow in there, so that it represents a bit of a midday and bright light is reflecting on there, and like, you know, bright the sunny day, making these beach as well more brighter. For the boat in the distance, I'm not going to use any bright colors or anything. I'll just use very light gray in there. That's not important. And remember, this is the very important thing you need to remember when you paint. Not everything needs to be colorful and brighter. Your focus point needs to be more contrasty, or if you put colors on there, that's where your focus point will be. But the things that are not important, you're not showing the far away boat there, so just making it a bit of impression. There is a boat there, that's all. Adding a bit more, little bit values on the clouds to making the shadows and the lights a bit of dynamic. And when I add some colors in there at the edges, I'm gonna, with the fresh water, I'm gonna make the edges very softer and smudge them with the cloud. I'll keep the highlights of the clouds on the top. Now let's do the figure painting. The figures here, I painted them very lightly, very vaguely, and you don't need to paint figure like very much in details. I have a whole video there which shows how you can incorporate the figures in the painting in your actual landscape or whatever, cityscape, streetscape, anything. You can do it very quickly, very easily. The more quicker you do, your painting will have more impressionistic understanding. Here I am trying to little bit in detail, but not fully in detail. As you can see, my figures are not the perfect. I'm just trying to add some colors in there, and I will add some shadows in the figures. I've got a free ebook down in the description. Go and download that one. That will help you understand how to draw a figure in the landscape very quickly. Where your figures are not important and not in the focus point, or you are not painting figures, in that case, always remember, paint figures very vaguely and in an impressionistic way. When painting figures, remember one thing. Adding the shadows will create that figures in 3D form. So when you're painting on 2D format, like here what I am doing, but adding the shadows and making them in 3D and making it a little bit more realistic. So when you're painting figure, just keep that in mind, that don't paint your figure just only with one color. Try to add different shades of the colors or completely contrasting colors to display the figures in 3D form with shadows and with different perspective of the body. You don't have to paint figure like in every detail. Rather, adding a little bit of shadows or some dynamic movement will create your figure more alive and more dynamic, more vibrant. Number 4 important stuff or thing I would say for painting is the connections. The connections means the connections between different objects in your landscape. Connecting objects with each other in somehow in terms of shadows or forms is very important in all sort of painting. It creates the homogeneity and also plays a vital role to create a nice composition. Here my figures are connected with shadows, and then one of the figures is connected with the boat, and the boat's rooftop is connected with the foliage, trees, and with the background. That's the important thing. And the last one is the detailing, and detailing means just to pull up your painting, the amount of detailing you need, just only do that. And here I am almost at the end of the painting, and what I need to do now, my painting is almost done, so only the detailing. Detailing is the very end part in your painting. All the poles, the verticals, or anything you need to do, or any accent colors, or a little bit of highlight on everything, you do that very in the end. Don't bog yourself down with that things earlier stage of your painting. Just add those dynamic shadows where the values needs to be a little bit darker, where the highlights needs to be done. Finish those off in the very final stage, and that will make your painting working. Here you go, this is the final painting. As you can see, I try to use those 5 important steps in my whole painting, and I showed you how you can use those 5 steps in your painting and you can come up with a perfect working landscape or cityscape or whatever you are painting. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing and give it a thumbs up. It will help me to boost my channel up. And I will see you in my next videos. And if you have any questions or anything regarding the painting, please feel free to put down in the comment box. I reply every time. Thank you. I will see you next. Have a good time.